I really want people to walk away smiling, happy, and feeling like there is now a path they personally can take. So true leadership, to me, is, most people agree, true leadership is about driving change and helping people, particularly helping people and firms to navigate change. We're in a world that changes all the time. Everything about the world changes, from the climate to the nature of the threats it faces, maybe things like health, pandemics, even the types of houses we live in, the places we choose to go on holiday, the food we eat. Whether if we're talking seasonality, different clothes we wear throughout the year, or to longer term changes related to the climate. So we're in a world that constantly changes, therefore we also need to change too. But the issue is we're often surrounded when we create constructs that don't change. I sleep in the same bed pretty much every day, and I try and eat the same thing for breakfast, and I work at the same computer every day. So there is an element of rigidity in terms of our habits and our what we like to do that disconnects us from the world, and that translates into far worse situations. For example, laws. A lot of the laws that govern our country and our world haven't been changed for decades or even hundreds of years, so they can go stale, or they might not be applicable anymore. So what we really need to do is to help companies harness that change, understand that it's going to happen with or without them, and try and not only capitalize on it, but actually make that a unique selling point of their business and make the firm and their people succeed by it. If you are in a firm where people can feel that they have a sense of belonging, that their ideas are valued, and that they actually can have a say in the firm's strategy and its success, then all the data shows us that those are by far the most profitable firms, the most productive firms. It just makes sense. So for me, it really is about trying to reassure people that change isn't a bad thing, and that there is a commercial opportunity here to make it work and to embrace it. The second part of true leadership for me is also about, it's not about controlling people or making them fear you. It's about actually representing them. I don't think the best leaders in history, certainly from my role models, people like Martin Luther King, people like Emmeline Pankhurst, these people didn't seek leadership. They didn't want to be powerful, rich, and famous. They had leadership flung upon them by the people, because people recognized that they could represent them in a way that they could reflect quiet voices that didn't have, little people that didn't even have a voice. And that was really what those are my icons, the real stalwarts of history, because they saw what people wanted and they took it upon themselves to deliver that for them. And we owe them all, even today, a huge debt of gratitude. That's for me what true leadership is all about. I like filling rooms with light and love. People often, I sometimes hesitate to put on my speaker sheet that I like to talk about women's rights and women's issues, because I'm not a woman. Who am I to come up there and tell women what they can and can't do? But that's actually not what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do is to say, look, I'm actually talking mostly to men in that situation. I'm saying, look, guys, it is undeniable that women have disadvantages, whether they're professional or cultural. We give them far less recognition, and yet put far more burdens upon them. Not just in things like childbearing and rearing, but also the clear gender bias in things like maternity rules and shared parental leave should be a thing everywhere. It's such a shame it's not. Or the fact that tampons are taxed everywhere. I don't understand this. These women already have enough barriers to do that. So I'd say I never blame. I never single anyone out because we're all in this together. No single person is responsible for the world today as it is, but we all have an opportunity to help put it right and contribute. So for me, the message really is one of inspiration, motivating people, not a negative one of blaming people and criticizing people, but for suggesting ways we can improve the world and suggesting ways we can all work together to do so. I really want people to walk away smiling, happy, and feeling like there is now a path they personally can take to make things better, and an effective one as well, and really about meaningful change. So I don't suggest ideas that are performative I don't talk about scenarios that are imaginary. I try and use real world examples, lived experiences, real of people who've been through this and who've talked to me about it and who've succeeded. I think that if we can follow in the path that's trailblazed by real change makers before us and learn the lessons from the past, only that way can we really make the future the best possible future for us and our children. So I want people to leave my speeches smiling, happy and confident that they're on the right path and that they've learned something.